Hello and welcome to Codex Lore, and today we are looking at Be'lakor, the Dark Master, and his story from the 8th edition Chaos Demons Codex. This is in light of the miniature being teased, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end of the story as well. Be'lakor, the Dark Master. Be'lakor was the first mortal bestowed with demonhood. Though what sacrifices he made and what horrors he inflicted to secure such a reward are not described even in the oldest tales. What is known is that Be'lakor somehow managed to draw the gaze of all four of the dark gods, pleasing them sufficiently that each granted him a portion of their godly might. This soon was shown to be a dire mistake. Chaos gods seldom share anything for long, and so it was with Be'lakor. For a time, the gods fought over the winged demon prince, feuding as children might squabble over a favourite toy. However, they soon realized the folly of combining their might into a single vessel, as Be'lakor was nearly uncontrollable. It was not long before the ruinous powers began to raise up new demon princes, each god choosing only champions that would be loyal to them, and to them alone. Although Be'lakor remained the strongest of the demon princes, his might was diminished as the gods spread their power among other servants. Nevertheless, Be'lakor remains a master of shadows, moving between the veil of history and exerting the will of the chaos gods upon the universe. The origins of Be'lakor are spoken of only as myths and rumour, tales torn from the tongues of captive demons or forbidden lore, recorded on ancient crypt walls, crude pictographs found in the caves of dry, dead worlds, or primitive statues hidden in the sunken depth of death-world oceans, speak to Be'lakor's immortal reign within the galaxy. Scholars have been driven mad looking for hints of a demon's presence woven into the history of the universe, always lurking in the shadows behind the rise and expansion of the mortal races. Even the secretive Grey Knight Space Marine chapter, created by the Emperor to combat demonic forces of the war, know little of Be'lakor's true history, only conflicting lies and impossible fabrications. Legends tell of Be'lakor ruling over mortal empires since the dawn of time. The demon prince conquering a world and subjugating its people, forcing them to worship him as a god during a time when only knew as Old Night or the Age of Strife. When the race would fall into decline, ruined by Be'lakor's greed or malevolence, the demon would move on, finding a new burgeoning race to be his playthings. Several times, the demon prince is said to have been the lord of sector-spanning empires, a dark demonic god ruling over 1,000 worlds and billions of loyal followers. Relics and the ruins of dead worlds still exist that suggest there may be some truth to these legends. Whether their source was Be'lakor or not is more difficult to say. Like a petulant firstborn son, Be'lakor has always had a bitter jealousy towards anything or anyone that wins the favour of the dark gods. For millennia, the demon prince undermined the plots and schemes of demonic and mortal servants of chaos. However, what Be'lakor mistook for free will and a measure of revenge against those that had usurped his power was merely the great game between the chaos gods. When the demon brought down a chosen champion of Nurgle, invariably he was doing Tzeentch's bidding, and while he was laying a warrior of the blood god low, he was fulfilling the will of Slaanesh. Be'lakor remains blind to these manipulations of the gods, or, perhaps, chooses to ignore them. His own thirst for power and the pleasure of proving his mastery over rival champions of chaos seems enough to make him forget the sorcerous tethers the god continually try and wind tightly around his neck. Hidden behind a veil of secrets and lies, it is impossible to know for sure if Be'lakor is doing the bidding of the chaos gods or simply working towards his own profits in power and souls. In battle, Be'lakor strikes with his mighty claw and wields a blade of shadows, a massive sword that shifts in and out of focus, flipping from shape to shadow. As the weapon blinks between solidity and mere silhouette, It slices through armor, scale, flesh, or filigree with ease. Whether the blade is part of a demon itself, or perhaps an ancient gift bestowed upon him by the dark god, that Bellicus somehow retained, in spite of his fall from favour, none can truly say. An opportunist, Bellicor has cited fighting alongside the demon legions of each god since the opening of a great rift. He has pledged his aid to several renegade chapters, even fighting in the company of Abaddon, the Despoiler, and his Black Legion. Exactly what his winding plots seek to achieve is, like so much about the Shadow Demon Prince, unknown. So, I think that's a very interesting story, and I think it's quite good. And it says a bit about how the warp works, because being the first Demon Prince, he managed to gain the power of all 4 Chaos Gods, and this would have been before Slaanesh was born by the Eldar, showing that the warp doesn't work as we see it. It works more like a continuous. It always has been and never has been. Slaanesh has always existed and never existed, same with the other gods. So that's how, even before Slaanesh's birth, Slaanesh, she who first, managed to give her some of the power to Bellicor. And I know there's like parts that say that Bellicor is Genghis Khan, and honestly, I don't know. I can't tell you. I would like to know more, and if you got the sources to where Bellicor actually comes from, that'd be great. If you could point me in the right direction, I'd love it. But I do like the fact that when it comes to demon princes who are meant to have some free will, with Bellicor, and it kind of shows you that maybe he doesn't. Maybe he thinks his free will is actually, just a manipulation from a Chaos God. And is this the same with the other ones, like the Primarchs and the Demon Primarchs? Do they have free will, or maybe they are just being manipulated, unbeknownst to them, and they're just given the idea of free will and choice? And the fact that he's trying to gain power and has been wanting to be worshipped as a god, and we know that the Chaos Gods gain power from worship. So was he trying to become a new god of the warp? He's not omnipotent like the other Chaos Gods, so he'd only be able to be worshipped by a few planets, a sector at most, where the Chaos Gods will be worshipped wholesale across the galaxy and even the universe. Because don't forget, the warp is a twisted mirror of our universe. So though the 40K universe is taking place in Milky Way, the Chaos Gods will still have influence over other galaxies, and even if it's multiverse, even other universes. Anyway, what do you think? Are you excited for the new model? Are you thinking? Did you enjoy this? What characters? Because I do like. This is my favourite part of the Codex is reading about the characters. Is there any characters you want me to talk about in the future? Any other codexes you think, or stories you think you would like to hear? Leave me a like down below. Just comment the stories. And of course, share this video, hit that notification bell. The link for Element Games, as always, is down below. As is for my comics, Project Blue Book and Little Red and Raziel. Project Blue Book is just an ongoing comic which I write and make when I get the time. And it's basically sci-fi and horror and fantasy all mixed in one. Little Red and Raziel is a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood with more horror and Lovecraftian elements. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. 190 subscribers now. I am over the moon. I'm so happy that so many people have chosen to subscribe to my channel. And yeah, thank you very much. I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you all soon.